Welcome to Tata International School, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate your time today. I am Spruna Amalbaratkar and I am studying in grade 7. And I would love to talk about your journey. So, shall I proceed?
Yes, sure.
Ma'am, so can you describe a typical work day in the clinic or hospital?
Oh, yeah, my day begins around at 10 o'clock in the morning, so I have a few appointments already given. So I prefer to reach at 15 minutes before time and my patient starts. So normally my each appointment is about 45 minutes. So after every patient, we take a rest of 15 minutes and then we take up our next appointment. So that's how my 4 to 5 appointments go in the morning and 4 to 5 appointments in the evening. So that is how my typical day is.
Ma'am, what do you think? What makes a good doctor in your view?
Wonderful question. I think I would answer this as I got it from my mentor. He was the person I worked under during my early years after I finished my dentistry education. So Dr. Narendra Dige, his name is. So these were his words that doctor in any form should be a healer. You know what a healer is? Somebody who heals. So sometimes when a patient coming to you is coming with a tooth pain, but there could be so many other reasons why that person is upset, why that person is not in a good health, not just dental health. He could just be not in a very good health in general. So I just remember his words very well, and they just struck me because when I was visiting him those times, I was myself going into a very tight schedule. I was working at a hospital in the morning, and my evening hours I used to work with him for 4 hours. So I was working 14 hours a day, and I was having a lot of problems in my body because of overworking and not eating healthy, So when he said that you have to be a healer, that struck me that healing the person as a whole is more important rather than healing just a particular pain or dental pain or anything. So healing a patient should not be localized. It should be in general healing. So that is how I feel it is.
Thank you. Ma'am, I would like to know about how do you collaborate with the healthcare staff and nurses?
Okay, so it's basically a teamwork, as you know, right? So we are working together. So when I am looking after the patients, my team looks after the setup which I work in, right? So they make sure that everything is clean and sterilized, everything is disinfected. Then they make sure that the floor is clean and the air is good, the hygiene is maintained, ventilation is enough. So basically it's a teamwork. So we all work together. So I have to, in the first hand, because not everybody is trained to do that. So we have to train them first. So I have to tell them the kind of setup I need, the kind of hygiene I need when I'm treating my patients. So I have to convey it to them nicely, to train them for that, and they do their job accordingly.
So it's a real example of teamwork.
Yes, absolutely.
Ma'am, I think this question is in everybody's mind. That how do you keep up with medical advancements and new research? It's a medium.
Yeah, because see, everything is changing, right? There is new research is going on, new results coming up. So you have to keep yourself updated with that, which could be very minor things and which could be really big things, right? So we have conferences and we have continuing education programs wherein whatever new things are coming up, they are made known to you and how to apply them as you work. So all those things are constantly going on. So you have to be in touch with that, which most of the doctors are, because you have to keep yourself updated because you have to apply whatever you are learning and onto their living objects, right? So we have to be very careful. So we keep doing that.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us how long do you take to be confident as a practitioner?
Oh my God. This is a good question, a very good question. See, I feel confidence comes when you do things and you get very good results. So you know what works. At the same time, confidence comes when you do things and it fails. So that is a learning curve. So you know what works, you know what works best, and you know what doesn't work. So confidence comes when something comes in front of you and you've handled it similar thing several times and you have had both outcomes. I would say all the three outcomes. When you had good results, when you had best results, and when you have zero results. So confidence comes when you know that if you do something, this is going to work, this is not going to work. So over the years, of course, and I think doctor learns till the time he closes his practice. So it's still learning.
Thank you, ma'am. Now my friend Advaita will ask some questions.
Okay.
Hello ma'am, good
Hi.
morning.
Good
Welcome to
morning.
Kaka's International School. I am Advaita Gupta from grade 7. So doctors are very inspiring for students nowadays and I am also interested in this profession. I would like to have some answers from you about this profession. So may I?
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, would you tell me something about yourself?
Yeah, myself, Dr. Varsha Thakur. I'm a dentist by profession. I've done my master's in public health. I've been working since about 17 years. I did my early education from Dr. D.Y. Patil Dental College and Hospital. So that was a 5 years journey in education. That was my basic bachelor's degree. Then for my master's, I went to UK, London, and I did 2 years of my master's and 1 year I worked over there. Then I was back in India and I started practice in Pune. So I have my practice here since past 13 years.
That's very nice. Ma'am, I would like to know how do you handle a situation where a patient is refusing a treatment or surgery?
Right. See, as I told her earlier, that you have to be a healer. So whenever a patient is coming, he's not just coming with a dental problem. He's coming with certain preconceived notions about the treatment. And anything related to treatment is he has a fearful story about it. When he's saying no to something, there's definitely some kind of fear which he feels that if that treatment might give him pain or that might give him discomfort, which he'll not be able to handle. So in that case, it's basically a psychological problem that the patient is suffering from some kind of fear. So you have to eliminate that from the patient, right? So that is what our concern is when a person is refusing a treatment. So you have to get to the roots of it. What is the cause of that concern or what is the cause of that refusal? So once you address that, once you make the person understand, it's all good.
Yes, ma'am, that's very thoughtful. So, what is your greatest achievement till the date?
Oh, greatest achievement? I wouldn't say there's one. There have been multiple. As I said, it's been a journey. As I said, when we were doing things, you get confidence when things go right. But there are times when you're not sure about how the results are going to be. So a case comes, it's a very difficult case, and you're not sure if the result is going to be very positive. But then you put in all your efforts to work on all the finer areas. You don't miss out on any detail, and it just comes out great with flying colors. Or sometimes it comes out more than what we expect as results. So that I think is an achievement. But that's an everyday ongoing thing. I still have cases where then I see the case and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to try this in this patient. I don't know if it's going to work. But then you try your best and then it comes out great. And when the patient revisits and he's like happy, smiling, eating very nicely, and you feel wow. So this wow feeling is always there.
That's very brilliant. So, what are some challenges you faced in your time and how did you fought for it?
Yeah, challenges I would say. There were times when we were really not expecting a failure and the failure happens. So you're in a very tricky situation. There's like, oh my God, you're not expecting that failure. But then addressing that failure and yet have the patient's confidence not going away. It's very important, that the patient confide in the doctor. So retaining both the things together and then in spite of that failure, giving the patient another option which will be working for him and getting that done and letting the patient go happy was a challenging thing.
That's very brilliant. So, can you give some advice to the students who want to be doctor in future?
Oh, just enjoy your studies. Yeah, I wouldn't say study hard. Okay, just enjoy your studies. Be consistent. Understand the topic first. Now, improve your communication skills. Make sure everything goes in and just comes out effortlessly. रट के मत जाओ, रटने की आदत ही छोड़ दो. Understand the topic and start putting that down on. The consistency is very important. So if you want to become a doctor, that is very important because you have to learn and then you have to apply. Yeah, so your learning is very important. If you're not learning it well, how will you apply well? Right?
Yes, that's a great advice. So thank you for giving me your precious time. Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you for the
Doctor's
lovely
Day.
questions. Thank you.